Hello, beautiful soul. I'm Vicki Howie of ChakraBoosters.com, the creator of Chakra Boosters Healing Tattoos. And I'll bet you hear the ocean around me. I am near Big Sur and Monterey on the beautiful west coast of the USA. And it's a gorgeous day today. It's sunny and it feels like the perfect time to unpack a video that I've been meaning to make for a while now, which is showing you how each chakra relates to one of the physical senses. Because you know, I'm really big into embodiment, into living our enlightenment, not out of the body, but fully integrated in the body. And one of the ways that we can lead to a healing in any chakra that's very embodied, well, the embodied chakras, not the crown as much, but any of the 6 embodied chakras, one of the ways that we can work with them and heal them is to appeal to and use the sense that is related to that chakra. And it's just a quick little shortcut way. It's when you know all these different shortcut ways, whether it be food or color or working with the element or now working with the sense of that chakra, each one of these things, if you really, for instance, want to work on your root, you could work on all of them at once. You could have fun with it. You could fall in love with the color red and with root chakra foods, and you could work with earth and earthing, right, and grounding practices and grounding meditations. And you could also work with the first sense that I'm going to bring up here, because we're going to start at the root. And let's talk about the root first. The root chakra is the first chakra, the lowest spot in the spine at the tailbone. It regulates the energy of, it's an earth element, and regulates our foundation and our grounding. Some say survival. I think we're beginning to move beyond that energy a lot more, but it is related to our most primal being. So out of the physical senses, which of the physical senses is the most primal? Did you say smell? Animals love to smell. They get so much information through smelling. So smelling, the sense of smell, is what's related, it's the physical sense that's related to our root chakra, and just getting into it will allow us to boost our root. Now there's a couple ways you can do it. You can watch my video on the essential oils that boost the root chakra, so you can work with actual essential oils. Those are the musky, woodsy, earthy, because musk is earthy, smells, the scents. So that's one good way to do it. But another really great way to do it is for you to think of childhood smells. Now remember, root chakra is the home of memory as well too. It's like keeping a bodily record. And when someone's slow and steady, they tend to be more methodical and have a better memory of things than those of us like me. I'm running around in my upper chakras a lot of the time, and I think my memory is getting a little better. I'm not sure, but one thing that really jogs memories in an amazing way is to work with, or when you smell something like a childhood smell, like you go home and your mom's cooking the chocolate chip cookies she cooked 25 years ago, the same recipe, that will just like jog you and put you into that time. So that's one way you can work with root chakra essential oils if you'd like, earthy smells, even just having plants and earth and working out in the garden and smelling the dirt, earthy smells. Or you can work with memory smells, especially from childhood and home. If you felt safe, and this is important because if you didn't feel safe in your childhood home, then probably not best to bring up those memories. But if you felt relatively safe, or you had particular memories like your mom making those cookies that made you feel safe, those are good root chakra boosting odors. And using your sense of smell, maybe recooking that recipe from your mom, cook a childhood recipe, that's an immediate way to boost your root chakra. And it's usually very yummy and sensual at the same time too. So that's the root chakra, the sense of smell. What do you think is the sense that's related to your sacral chakra? Now the root chakra again is the red earth chakra that's masculine and it's at the tailbone. The next chakra up is in the pelvic bowl, the sacral area, and it is the divine feminine. It's orange And it relates to flow and water and moves around things. It's the opposite in many ways, in almost all ways, of that earth energy of the root. Think about this one. This one's about intimacy. And we like to kiss when we get intimate, right? I've had people tell me that they've actually wanted to have non-intimate relationships so they wouldn't kiss, like some kind of sexual relationship. So that just tells you how intimate kissing is. And we also often will include food in rituals around sexuality, right? Whether it's strawberries or oysters or just mangoes, these aphrodisiac foods. And that's because the sense of taste, your mouth, is related to your mouth experience, your tasting. The savory experience is related to the sacral chakra and to opening it up. So one thing you can do is just, if you spend a week just really slowing down with what you eat and eating more pleasurable, sensual foods that just have textures that you love or juiciness that you love, since the sacral is the water chakra. So getting into that sense of taste, whether it's in combination with sexual relations, making love, or if it's just for yourself, this wonderful mango salad that you're gonna have, that's gonna help to boost your sacral chakra, your feminine, your pleasure, your joy. And you can do that. That's how easy it is. So work with the sense of taste. Can you taste? If you're about to eat a meal after you watch this, see if you can taste the foods more. See if you can enjoy the pleasure of the food more and just really experience your sense of taste. Okay, that's the first and second chakra. We're back to the masculine again. We're in the third chakra, the solar plexus chakra, which is yellow, and it's in the midst of the solar plexus. It's a contractive masculine chakra. And it's all about going for it and being directive and being focused. And it also has to do with our analytical mind. That's why people often, we now find brain cells in the gut. They're related. Our sense of yes, no, our sense of I like and I don't like. It's that very personal, because again, the solar plexus chakra is your personal identity, your unique identity as the being you are in this lifetime. Okay, so what is the sense that's related to this? Now, this is a masculine chakra. It's the center. The root chakra, the solar plexus, and the throat are masculine. So this is the anchored, I should say the anchor is more the root, but what I mean is it's the midpoint. It's the midpoint of the masculine chakras. It's the warrior chakra. It's the go for it. It climbs the mountain. It conquers. It's the knight that conquers on the horse. So it's very, very masculine. And I find this interesting because what I've learned over time, and again, anything I'm saying is about the masculine or feminine. You might be a man who's very feminine. You might be a woman who's very masculine in your energy. Because of the hormones, especially when we're a little bit younger, as we get older, they're less affecting us. But we tend to, men who have testosterone tend to have more masculine habits. Women who have less testosterone and more estrogen tend to have more feminine habits or ways of relating. But this can depend on your biology, your self-identification, all those things. So just take these as loving generalizations. Don't make anything cast in stone. Use what works for you and throw the rest away. But I know it's taken me a while to get to it, but the reason is because I've listened to a lot of women, and they're often with men. This is in heterosexual couples. I don't know a whole lot of gay couples, female. You can make notes here and let me know. But when one is more geared in the third chakra, one's more masculine in their energy, and when you're more masculine in your energy, you're related to the sense of sight. You see things, you're visual. That is pleasing, that is not. And often women will talk about how men are just all about how things look, right? But there is some reality to this, because the solar plexus is the focus chakra. It is visual. It goes for that goal over there. And it likes to surmise things. It likes to judge things because it's the mental mind. And again, judging isn't always bad. You can have preferences of what you love and what you don't love. In a way, you can call that judging. You're not necessarily resisting or anything. You're just saying, I really like that. I really prefer that. So to boost your solar plexus. First of all, we're all going to go easy on people. If there's a man or a woman who's really masculine and they're very visual, let's see that as a skill. Let's see that as they're a good photographer, they're good at, you know, designing, maybe they're good at seeing what they like, okay, visually. Women, on the other hand, run more out of the sacral, especially if they have more estrogen. So the feminine energy is more about feeling in a relationship. And again, taste is the sense, but I'm talking about just the emotions that are part of the sacral chakra. So that's why you get that difference often in relationship, where a woman, often they say a woman who has a man who makes her really feel good, that man will look good, right? And for a man, often a woman that looks good to him, that woman will feel good to him. Like the look is first. Can you feel that? So it's fun stuff. But here's how we're gonna work with the solar plexus. This is the element of fire. So one of the best ways you can boost your solar plexus energy is simply light a candle, or if you're camping, it's beautiful right now. I'm doing this in the summer. If you're out camping and you're gonna have a nighttime fire, just stare into the flame. Stare into the flame. Just that connection, and then connect it between your solar plexus and the flame, your solar plexus and the flame. Just keep connecting that energy. As you connect that energy, you're gonna boost up that solar plexus chakra. You can also just be more visual throughout your week too. So you could just say, I'm gonna notice visual things. I'm gonna notice patterns, similarities. Or yellow is the color of the solar plexus. So you could say, this whole week, I am going to notice more yellow. You might just want to do that, okay? So look and use your eyes and use your focus. You can also look at a yantra, especially a yellow yantra. You can look that up online, Y-A-N-T-R-A. It's like mantras are to the throat chakra. Yantras, visually seeing designs, are for the eyes. Got it? Okay, guys, great. The next one, we're going back into the feminine. Notice we pulsate. I really want you as my tribe to understand this, because this hasn't been emphasized in work with the chakras very much, because we've been doing more disembodied energy work. But now it's the age of the goddess, and about being embodied, men and women. And so I want you to really feel this pulsation of root being masculine, sacral being feminine, solar being masculine, heart being the mother, the feminine. Also, it's the center of our field. What do you think the sense is that's here? Okay, we've only got a couple left. If you said sense of touch, you are right on. And that's because the heart energy moves through the shoulders, down the arms, and out the hands. This is an expression. The palm chakras become an expression of the heart chakra energy. Isn't that cool? So this one's really easy. Touch, with permission, of course, with someone that you love, someone you can help heal, and they can help you heal. Touch more. Hugging is so good. With permission, you can even hug relative strangers, and it's a really positive thing. You know, some people go around holding up signs saying free hugs. You know, they're giving hugs to strangers. I think that is so cool. So whether it's more tactile touching, making love, whether it's just your baby to your own skin, whether it's hugging, you know, all clothes on, just a stranger, any which way that we get more touch, we get oxytocin, the love hormone. Fits, right? Because love is the essence of the heart chakra. So touch, 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 and you're gonna boost your heart chakra. So this week you could just say, how many hugs can I give? How much touch can I experience and give? Because when you give it, this is the cool thing about touch. When you give it, you receive it. You're touching. The connection is there. Everyone is benefiting. So it's a really great karmic example of how the moment you give, it comes back to you. Touch for the heart. Let's touch more this week, you guys, and boost that heart chakra. All right, we've only got one of the physical senses left for the throat, so I think you can get it pretty easily. The throat chakra is about the sense of hearing. Now, we talk so much about expression, and I'm expressing on these videos. I don't sit here and just listen to you. But if you make comments, I usually listen to you, so definitely make comments. But because our world is so in this social media age, we're doing a lot of expressing, and I think sometimes we are forgetting the art of really listening and hearing. Now right now I'm at the ocean, so I'm going to take a few breaths in silence, and I want you to hear my background as well too. I want you to become more aware of the sounds. You may or may not hear a distant bird, who knows? There's even a highway not too far that if you listen close enough, maybe you would possibly hear some traffic or a car. I don't know. But the point is, the very act of actively listening opens our spiritual being, because the fifth chakra is the beginning of our spiritual essence, the magic. We're all spiritual, our whole body is spiritual, but the lower chakras, the heart is the bridge, and the lower chakras are about grounding us into this reality. Not grinding, grounding. Grounding us into this reality and giving us physical life. The upper chakras specialize in the freedom and joy and magic of being divine and remembering our divinity in this life. So right now I want you to close your eyes for a moment. You're going to listen to the sounds on this video. You're also going to listen to the sounds in your environment. So I want you to take 3, 4, 5 deep breaths now, slow and steady, and open your listening wider and wider as you do it. Expand your consciousness further, reach further for sounds that are farther away. So you're expanding your spiritual energy, your awareness of it. It's really amazing, isn't it? Can you feel the expansiveness of the energy right now? Simply by opening our ears and literally reaching out to find sounds farther and farther away, we open our throat chakra and the magic of the divinity within us. And when we listen first, we can express more beautifully too. We're engaged with life in the way that we're communicating. And when we listen more carefully, we also slow down. Notice how much I have slowed down. It's so cool. I like to give you guys a lot of information in these videos, and I'm a fiery gal, so sometimes I'm shooting on all cylinders. But if you want to drop into your throat chakra, just listen and expand your listening range further and further and further out, expanding your attention and your awareness, literally expanding your spiritual energy, your awareness. Because our energy is pretty big, but as we move it with awareness, it grows. So that's the throat chakra. And finally, the third eye. Oh, and the throat, by the way, is the blue, and it's vibration or sound is the element here, so it makes sense that listening would be a part of that. Just as well, I already did all the stuff about the love of the heart. We know so much about the heart. So the third eye is here in the middle of the brow, and it is the highest feminine. It's wise, intuitive connection to your higher self and your psychic abilities. How do you tap into that easily? Well, you practice intuitively working with your sixth sense. It's the sixth sense because this is the sixth chakra. It's the sense that goes beyond the 5 known senses, the physical senses. And such magic, really, the magic that begins here in opening your listening, now we hear back and we really utilize it. Now, after we open in that listening, now we really listen to the higher self, listen to the universe speaking as the higher self, or vice versa, the higher self speaking as the universe. And you can actually practice this. You can each day have a journal, write down what you feel is coming in the day. Write down any hits you get. Write down a dream from the night before if there was anything that came up that seemed like it might be prescient. Or you could also get some oracle cards and play with those. Those are a great way to open your third eye, your sixth chakra. You can also just practice. There's books out there that say how to boost your intuition. And there's even ones on how to boost your psychic abilities. Either one of those types of books, if they've got very good exercises. Look through the book. Make sure there's exercises, because everything in life is a muscle. Everything's a muscle, all the way up to our higher self, up to the very top of our body. But that brings me to the 7th chakra, which is off the body. This is your umbilical cord to the divine. This is your oneness, your allness. This is where you came from and where you're going back to. So it's kind of this umbilical cord, I think, always to the great Father, Mother, the spirits, the spirit of all, right? Just like we have an umbilical cord to the physical mother when we come into this life. Well, up here, there's no sense. So many yogis practice actually withdrawal of the senses. So the practice here, if you really, and make sure, by the way, if you're going to boost this, that you're not already too much up here. If you're forgetful, if you're dizzy, if you have any kind of mental issues, even slightest, if bipolar runs in your family, if there's stuff happening up here, you don't want to boost this. You actually want to maybe work with the sliding roof. Imagine a sliding sunroof of your crown, and maybe even sometimes, open it and then close it halfway, just to make sure you have some awareness of how much you're letting come in and out, because we want to stay in this reality, okay? And completely blowing out the crown can take us off of this reality and give us an inability for our brain and our body to even deal with this reality. But if you know you're very grounded, and if you're especially might be depressed, you need that freedom and that connection to the spirit and all that you are. So what I'd like you to do, if that's the case, is practice withdrawal of the senses. Literally go through your senses, feel them for a moment, and then take your attention off. Like think about almost drawing them in, like when an airplane draws in its landing gear, pulls it into the plane. Think of like you're going to pull in that sense. So you might have a sense of smell. Take all the smells that you can, and then pull that in and just let it dissolve. And then taste something, maybe even what was left in your mouth, and then pull that in. And then open your eyes for a moment and really see the color, and then close your eyes and pull in the sense of sight. And then touch and feel maybe your own fingers, your own body. Just feel it, and then pull that in. And then finally listen, and then you can even use, I have these wonderful beeswax earplugs that I just love, that you can get online. I think if you put beeswax, I don't know, but they're so good, and you can put them in and you'll still hear your own beautiful breath. But wow, what an ocean tidal sound that breath is. It's so healing. And the third eye really is just openness to that voice within. So you could listen for a moment and then even let that go. And then just stretch out and feel. Just imagine yourself expanding and expanding. If this is good for you, again, if you need or want crown chakra, especially if you're feeling depressed, imagine your energy just white light, just expanding wider through your room, through your neighborhood, through your town, through your state, through your country, through the world, through the universe. Just imagine that. And get all the way up to the cosmos, feel its never-ending nature, and then just kind of envelope it. So you still feel contained, you still feel bounded, you're not lost in that, but you can feel how wide your consciousness goes. Whew. So those are the senses, you guys. Your senses are a wonderful way to tap into embodied healing in any chakra. You might just turn on one for a whole week and feel that out. So do that, play with that, and let me know how it feels, and I will see you on the next video. Blessings.